guys? It's your boy Benny. You can be anything you want to in America. And that, of course, is demonstrated every single day by our current crop of politicians heading into work. This man is a senator from Pennsylvania. I know. You're telling me that they look like a late night gas station attendant covered in Funyun dust on his way into his 4th DUI hearing that week, after also having to pay child support and alimony to his 3rd wife. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that would be John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. A man who's so important to Democrats because he is a swing vote, well, that they changed the entire dress code for John Fetterman in the Senate and allow him now to oversee the Senate dressed exactly like the degenerate slob that he is. Well, a reporter in New York went to some of the nicest restaurants in Manhattan to try and eat dinner dressed as John Fetterman. Hear from one of our favorite reporters, John Levine. John Fetterman will be allowed to dress like a slob in the halls of power, but it's still a capital offense at New York City's finest establishment. Post reporter John Levine learned the hard truth this week when he crossed the Big Apple's culinary landmarks, wearing Fetterman's trademark hoodie and gym shorts sneakers, and tried to gain entry. He would not be permitted here, sniffed the maitre d' at Daniel on the Upper East Side, Daniel, where tasting menus run at $275 a pop. She admitted she didn't know who John Fetterman was. At the famed La Brune, a suited maitre d' named Julian served up at amuse-bouche of Stink Eye when the Post arrived. It's very nicely written. Look at these fancy little New York eateries. Here he is trying to get a seat. He does kind of look just like John Fetterman. There's some really great. Look at that. Really well done. Well done, John. Really good footage of this. Outside? Outside? Are you going to be outside?
Is there a dress code here? So there's no possible way I could eat inside at all? No way of getting around the dress code? Are you open right now?
We are open.
All right, do you have space for 2?
We don't permit shorts.
Do you have a dress code?
Yes.
Would my sweatshirt be okay?
No.
No, you don't permit that. So nothing I'm wearing is okay?
Yeah, it's athletic wear and shorts.
Athletic wear and shorts, and you can just, if I sat in here, it'd be just crazy, you wouldn't allow it.
Correct.
So,
anyone with athletic wear and shorts in? There's a United States senator that dresses like this.
Yes, so he would not be permitted.
He would not be permitted. You know what I'm talking about, John.
No, I don't, but we've turned away guests.
You've turned away.
he would not be permitted.
So a United States senator who looked like he couldn't get in.
But he could get right next to Joe Biden, which here is John Fetterman speaking at the presidential podium with the presidential seal on it, dressed worse than the people who train seals at the zoo. And that's a stinky job, by the way. You ever been up there? Man, you can smell the fish. Here, who decided to put John Fetterman next to Joe Biden, by the way? This clip is my all-time favorite.
Oh, I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of a law of the inflation bill.
So, yeah, appealing to our lowest common denominator. Will we even have a country in a few years? Who knows? This is all an act of debasement, and it's all an act of humiliation. It's controlled decline. It's controlled demolition. Senate unanimously removes the Fetterman rule, restoring formal dress code after massive blowback. The Senate passed a bipartisan resolution on Wednesday to restore formal dress code in the upper chamber following the blowback over the unofficial rule. Chuck Schumer confirmed the rollback of dress code last week, and then the move was quickly dubbed the Fetterman rule. over John Fetterman's baggy hoodies and shorts. Joe Manchin, who publicly split with John Fetterman over the latter's lax dress code, sponsored the resolution along with Mitt Romney. As senators, we should demonstrate a high level of reverence to the institution in which we serve. The attire is the most basic expression of that, Romney said. Proud to stand here with my colleague from the other side of the aisle to return to a level of dress becoming of the Senate. Legitimately amazing. Actual Fetterman statement on the Senate dress code in its entirety. Hold on, let's read this. Here's the meme. New statement from Senator Fetterman. John Fetterman released the following statement. Just the meme, just the King of Queens meme with the guy with the hands in his pocket. I mean, okay. It's hard not to love this. It's hard not to love this. Here's John Fetterman in the hallway being asked about the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden.
God, really? Oh my gosh. It's devastating. Ooh, don't do it.
Oh my God. People saying this is Fetterman's body double. Yeah, John Fetterman had other things to say about the impeachment inquiry. He's a weird guy. John Fetterman's just a weird guy. Whoever's playing him today, just really weird. John Fetterman posing with a case of Bud Light. He sent James Comer a case of Bud Light. Here's the case of Bud Light outside of James Comer oversight and accountability. Real serious guy. Good job, Pennsylvania. Shreps Comer and his squad of profile and courage can make a guy thirsty. Congratulations, this Bud's for you. Hugs and kisses, John Fetterman. John Fetterman is like a weird guy, okay? He's a weird person. John Fetterman, like, again, wearing the face of a fellow, this is Bob Casey's face, fellow Pennsylvania senator, wore his face on his chest during the Senate. No one ever explained what was going on there. No one can explain it. Why was John Fetterman wearing another senator's face? I don't know, but here's what we do know. John Levine did great reporting here, showing us exactly how degenerate our current political class is, and how craven they are for power, to allow John Fetterman who is clearly mentally, like in a state of steep and abiding mental decline, by his own admission, to serve in the Senate. They lied to you for power. But he wouldn't be able to get seated in New York at a restaurant. Watch.
New York Post columnist John Levine taking a page from Senator John Fetterman, who's known for walking around the Capitol in his trademark hoodie and gym shorts. But the writer didn't have as good a luck when he tried to grab a table at some of New York City's highest-end restaurants. And joining us right now, New York Post columnist John Levine. John, thank you very much for getting all dressed up for us.
Thank you.
Oh, would you mind modeling this outfit?
Absolutely. So this is the full Fetterman getup. You've got the sneakers, and you've got the gym shorts, and you've got the hoodie. I'm a medium. This is an extra large. I got it at the Gap just across the street for this purpose.
All right, now sit down. So New York City has some very, very fancy restaurants, and so the whole idea was to compare the standards at the Senate with the standards of these restaurants, right?
The Senate is the world's greatest deliberative body. I wanted to see if I could walk into restaurants in New York City dressed like you can apparently now walk into the world's greatest deliberative body. And in many, many cases in New York, the answer was a resounding no.
Right. So you would go into these restaurants, and what would be the first thing you would say?
The first thing I would always say to everyone is this a restaurant? What is this place? Because a lot of these places are very, very famous places in New York, and it immediately puts everyone in a bad mood when you say, what is this place?
Because you look like you could be
like
just
some schlub
guy
off the street, right? So I'd say, what is this place? Oh, it's a restaurant. That's fascinating. Can I possibly sit here I was with a photographer, a camera guy. Can we like a table for two? And they would just be like, sir, it's not happening.
Right. Did anybody just absolutely take a look at your getup and say, get out?
No, I mean, people were generally, I would say, polite. There was no open hostility. I think a lot of people thought I was crazy. And you're from New York. If a crazy person comes up to you, you don't engage with hostility. That's a very recipe for disaster. But generally, I was very politely told, like, sir, you can't have athletic wear. The whole thing's not going to work. Just please leave quietly.
Sure.
And that's how it went.
You know, the Senate is the most exclusive club in America.
Yeah.
And yet you can't get into some restaurants, but he can get into the most exclusive club in the world.
Yeah, it's, look, civilization is a choice that we make every single day. Like, you woke up today and you put on, it's very early in the morning, and you put on a suit and tie. And I've always ever seen you on this show on a suit and tie.
Right.
Because you have great respect for yourself and your audience. But in the United States Senate, you can just march in like you came out of a Pilates class. And it's just a difference in standards that we're seeing. And it's a choice that he's just not making.
Do you think this new rule that Schumer put in place, allowing him to wear the hoodie and the pajama bottoms or whatever he's wearing, do you think that's going to stand?
Well, what's funny is I thought, this would be a 1 or 2 day news cycle and Democrats would close ranks on this, but apparently they haven't. And a lot of Democratic senators have said they don't like bending the rules for Fetterman. So I don't know that it will stay in place in the long term. And certainly I know if Republicans take back the Senate, Mitch McConnell will reverse this rule on day one.
When you went to the front door here at our building, did you have trouble getting
Your security, very hostile. I was nearly tackled by some of the guys out there when I tried to walk in.
Yeah,
it was like
use the loading dock, buddy.
Yeah, early in the morning, like who is this person?
All right. John Levine, read his columns over at the New York Post.
Thanks.
Fantastic job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Johnny.